So guys, this Tinubu spokesman says Tinubu doesn't sleep at night, that Tinubu is always awake even in the middle of the night, and one keeps wondering the outcome of the staying awake all night. He even says Tinubu is a workaholic. Nigerians, take a look at this.
Like us. We're saying hang in there because we can see that there is an end to this. But from my perspective now, from this seat, be patient with us. I'm working with a man who I can personally vouch for in the sense that I know that he's going to bed at 2, 3 a.m. every single night, including Sundays. He's waking up at 7, 8 every single morning, including Sundays, opening his files, working into the late night when no one's there to say anything good or bad about him. He's doing the work. He's a workaholic, and he's doing it all to build a country that is reflective of the progressive, advanced, developed, and prosperous society that he's envisioned, the same way he did in Lagos. And I'm asking our people, on the basis of that privileged knowledge that I have, working closely with him every day, to support this man. He means well. This is not me, a spokesman, getting his salary by doing a job. I'm speaking to you from the soul of Ajuri Ngalale. This is me telling you what I see in this man. And I'm hoping that Nigerians will give him the support he needs to do the important work that he's going to do on all of our.
Oh guys, the cluelessness of this government is unimaginable. It is this same Tinubu that told Buhari in 2020 to print more naira notes and suspend VAT. Today, the same Tinubu's government is lamenting on why Buhari printed so much money. Look at it here. Buhari's 8 years of printing money without productivity cost inflation. That is what they are now saying. So guys, the problem in Nigeria is not ending anytime soon, because we don't even see people that have ideas on how to end this crisis in Nigeria. We don't see them around. We don't see them in governance. I mean, the people in government, they don't have any clue on how to come out from this problem we are into. So guys, take a look at what Mr. Adeshina got to say.
But there are a number of things that we've got to be able to do right. You know, when you go to a medical doctor or somebody doing diagnostics, and they ask you to do a scan, you do a scan, and the scan tells you all the things that are wrong, right? So you can either close your eyes and say, I don't want to see the scan, and you live with a problem, right? Or you look at the scan and say, well, this is what the scan says, and what must I do differently? And that's why I always like the song by Michael Jackson, and I apply it to myself. I'm looking at the man in the mirror and I'm asking him to change his ways. There are a number of things that we've got to change. First and foremost is that in dealing with the fiscal challenge that we currently have today, I think the government certainly will get our own strong support. They are getting our strong support from the African Development Bank. You know, we have a portfolio today of $4.6 billion in Nigeria. And this year, we expect to have a series of portfolio in Nigeria that we're going to finance worth $1.76 billion, which will include, by the way, $1 billion of support that we are designing today for consideration for our board for budget support for Nigeria. And that will help a lot. You know,
in the form of a loan?
Yeah, you know, our loans are the cheapest you can ever find. You know, it's almost like grants. You know,
so concessionary financing.
Extremely concessionary. You pay 1% on a loan. You pay for 40 years, and you have 10 years moratorium on it.
And of course, the reason I ask is because we often talk about debt sustainability.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. But what I'm trying to say is that Nigeria needs a lot more concessional financing, because you know we are overextended. When I say that we now, I'm putting the Nigerian cap on as a citizen. The country is overextended in terms of Eurobonds and external debt and so on. You know, and as your currency depreciates, it means that the cost of financing your debt externally, it's so high, right? And don't forget, at the same time, you still have a lot of domestic debt that you have to clean up. So I really believe that the issue is we got to change the amount of money that are inflowing into developing countries like Nigeria and others. I'm talking globally, by making sure that we turn a trend that is not a good trend or a worrying trend. See, like in 2010, the total amount of external debt for Africa, that in terms of, you know, concessional debt, Paris Club debt, was probably about 57% of it was concessional loans. Today it's 24%. But more worrying is the flip inside of the commercial loan and Eurobonds, commercial banks and Eurobonds. It used to be 10% at that time. Today it's 44%. those are short-term loans done by commercial banks that are also high interest rate. And therefore, the more of the euro bonds you are issuing in short pieces like that, you have a situation of overlapping payments that you have to constantly keep on making. At the same time, your economy is weakening. So I do think that three things are fundamental as we look at the scan that we're doing. First is mobilize a lot more resources domestically. Loans aren't bad, debt aren't bad, but you cannot develop by just depending on debt. You have to mobilize domestic resources domestically and make sure that your royalties and the taxes that all the IOCs and everybody ought to be paying, they are paying it. No free lunch for anybody. You can't be giving freebies when your economy is in that kind of a situation. So that's first thing. I think that will help a lot on the fiscal side. The other is the type of debt. Having a greater share of your debt coming from concessional financing as opposed to commercial debt, because commercial debt, it's like something you get today, but you're going to pay for it heavily, shortly, tomorrow. So I think the quality of debt is also important. It's not just taking debt. It's taking debt for what?
Yeah.
And how is that being used? What is the efficiency of the public expenditures for which the debt is being used for? Because you're still going to have to pay for it, right? So that the efficiency argument is very, very important when one looks at the issue of debt. So, I think that for clearly in the case of Nigeria, I know the central bank governor is doing his best, and I really commend them for what they are trying to do.
So guys, this person has responded to those blaming Buhari for the too much money that was printed. So this person said Tinubu and Cardoso, 8 months of printing new notes without productivity damaged Nigeria economy and hike inflation from 16% to 33%. Olodo with your big fat whatever. So guys, this person is saying that Tinubu is shifting blame to Buhari, while to be frank, since Tinubu came into office, they've embarked on printing more new Naira notes. Take a look at this video. You can see that these are purely new Naira notes. So guys, these are what we are saying, that these people are just playing with the Nigerian people. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.